If the first thing you do in the morning is check your phone, you've already given someone else control over your mind. Most people wake up chasing time, messages, notifications, deadlines. But a Stoic wakes up with intention, not to react, but to declare. Each morning is a ritual. Whether you realize it or not, it's your reset button. Before the world tells you who to be, you decide who you are. You can't control the weather. You can't control your boss, your inbox, or that unexpected curveball life might throw. But you can control one thing: how you begin. And that's why you're here to repeat the most powerful principles of Stoic living every morning. This isn't daily motivation. This isn't feel-good fluff or pretty quotes. This is a warrior's morning manifesto, not for applause, but for the silent reminder I'm living right. I'm living strong. In this video, you'll uncover 8 Stoic truths to anchor your morning. Each one is a small step toward mastering your mind, building inner calm, and showing up as your most grounded, unshakable self. So if you're ready, let's begin with the first principle. Start with stillness. Before the world even knows you're awake, take a deep breath and listen closely. Before you open your inbox, before you answer a single message, before the noise of the world crashes into your peace, you must first meet yourself. Stillness is not the absence of activity. It's the presence of intention. It's waking up and deciding, this moment is mine. Think of a soldier sharpening his blade before battle. A Stoic does the same, except the blade is the mind. And the sharpening begins in silence. Stillness is your fortress, and the world will test your walls with chaos, with distraction, with ego. But in the first moments of your day, you're not reacting, you're remembering. I am not my schedule. I am not my stress. I am not my success. I am the stillness beneath all of it. Sit, breathe. 5 minutes. That's all it takes. Ask yourself, what kind of man am I choosing to be today? What values will I defend, even when no one's watching? Because if you don't define your state of mind at sunrise, someone else will shape it for you by noon. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic who ruled the most powerful empire in the world, still began each day, not with orders, but with stillness. He wrote to himself, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to love, to be." He didn't need motivation. He needed clarity. Stillness is how you reclaim ownership of your life. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Now, before your feet even hit the floor. Because your greatest strength doesn't come from noise. It comes from silence, well mastered. If you begin your day in stillness, you begin it on your terms. And that is the first quiet victory of a Stoic. You have a choice every morning to lead or to be led. The mind, if left unchecked, becomes a servant to noise, to distractions, to whatever the world throws at it first. But a Stoic doesn't surrender his mind to circumstance. He rules it quietly, decisively. From the moment he wakes, you have power over your mind, not outside events, Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. These aren't just beautiful words, they're battle instructions. Before you leave your home, before you even speak to another person, set your direction, not in vague affirmations, not with empty optimism, but with one clear, unshakable intention. This is who I am today. This is what I stand for. This is what I will do no matter what comes. Without intention, you drift. You become a boat without a rudder, pulled by every current, wave, and wind. But with intention, even the storm becomes your training ground. Your morning question should never be, "What do I feel like doing today?" It should be, "What must I do today to move toward the man I want to become?" This is not about perfection. It's about alignment. Alignment with your core values, with your higher self, with the vision of you that only you can see and are called to become. Let's be clear. You don't need to announce your intentions to anyone. This isn't performance. It's purpose. Say it to yourself in stillness. Today, I will speak with kindness, even if others don't. Today, I will stay composed, even if provoked. Today, I will move forward, even if it's just one small step. Because every time you make your mind obey your values, you become stronger than yesterday. This is how a Stoic wins, not by controlling everything, but by mastering the one battlefield no one else can touch: his own mind. Discipline doesn't start when it's convenient. It starts before you feel ready. It starts in the small, invisible moments, when you get out of bed instead of hitting snooze, when you choose a cold shower over comfort, when you finish what you said you'd start even when no one's watching. To the outside world, these acts seem meaningless, but to a Stoic, they are sacred, because how you do the little things is how you do everything. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus' freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you feel like. It comes from choosing what is right, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Discipline is misunderstood. It's not about force. It's not about punishment. It's about trust, self-trust. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you send a signal to your mind: I keep my word. I don't need motivation. I move with purpose. Think of discipline as a muscle. At first, it trembles under pressure, but with daily use, consistent, small, boring use, it grows unshakable. You don't lift discipline in massive heroic gestures. You lift it with morning reps, making your bed, planning your day, sitting down to think before you act. It's easy to be disciplined when you're inspired, but that's not real power. Real power is showing up when you're tired, discouraged, or no one's clapping for you. A Stoic doesn't chase moods. He builds systems, and those systems, over time, build strength. Let's say you want to become healthier, more focused, more present. That doesn't begin with some grand lifestyle change. It begins by refusing to break the promises you make to yourself, no matter how small. And the reward: confidence, clarity, quiet power. Discipline is the bridge between your current self and your future self. Every act of discipline whispers, you are not a slave to chaos. You are the architect of your life. So, When you rise in the morning, don't just move. Move with command. The world doesn't need another person running on autopilot. It needs more men who wake up and lead, starting with themselves. We often measure strength by how much we can endure, but the Stoics taught something deeper. Real strength is measured by how much we can give without needing anything in return. In a world obsessed with self-promotion, the Stoic man serves quietly. He doesn't boast. He doesn't manipulate. He contributes, not because he needs applause, but because it's what a grounded man does. What we do now echoes in eternity. Marcus Aurelius. That echo isn't made by grand speeches or public victories. It's made by the way you show up for your family, your partner, your community, even when no one sees it. Service isn't weakness. It's the highest expression of inner strength. It means choosing humility over ego, presence over performance. You don't have to change the world. You just have to be fully present in the world you touch. Take Anthony Ray Hinton. He spent nearly 30 years on death row for a crime he didn't commit, but he didn't grow bitter. He chose to lift others up, the guilty and the broken alike. Laughter, conversation, simple kindness. That was his rebellion. That was his victory. Even in a cage, he was free because he lived with purpose. The Stoics would ask you, when life squeezes you, do you collapse into self-pity, or do you look outward and ask, who can I serve with what I've learned? Because life isn't just about getting stronger. It's about helping others become stronger through you. Listen more than you speak. Lead without ego. Give your time without announcing it. Help others carry their burden, even if you're still carrying yours. Service reminds us that we're not alone. That meaning doesn't come from what we accumulate, but from what we contribute, and that every time you give without needing anything back, you prove one thing: you are already whole. Fear is not your enemy. It's your invitation. An invitation to grow, to evolve, to become the man you've always known you could be but never dared to meet. You weren't born to live small, and yet fear shrinks us. Not because it's powerful, but because we let it whisper unchecked. It says, what if they laugh? What if I fail? What if I'm not enough? But a Stoic knows fear is not proof you're weak. Fear is proof you're standing at the edge of something that matters. The mind is excellent at inventing dangers: public speaking, rejection, failure. Not because these things will kill us, but because we've trained ourselves to feel like they might. Stoicism rewires that instinct. It teaches you to question fear, not obey it. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca, read that again. Most of what you fear doesn't exist outside your thoughts. It's an illusion, a shadow puppet in your mind's theater. But once you walk toward it, once you breathe, step forward, and do the thing anyway, the illusion fades, and all that remains is strength. Let's get practical. Afraid to speak up? Speak anyway. Afraid to leave what's comfortable? Take the first step. Afraid to try and fail? Try anyway and fail forward. Because every time you act in the presence of fear, you chip away at the false limits you've placed on yourself. And with each chip, the real you, the unshaken, unstoppable version begins to emerge. Picture a man on a narrow cliff. wind in his face, knees trembling. Everything inside screams, "Back away." But instead, he pauses, breathes, and takes one more step forward. That step doesn't just conquer the cliff, it conquers the version of himself that wanted to run. That's what real courage looks like. And here's the twist. Fear isn't trying to stop you. It's trying to point you in the right direction. The Stoics believed that what you fear most often reveals what you care about most. Your dream, your truth, your calling. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. That fear, it's not a wall. It's a door. And only you hold the key. So ask yourself, right now, what have I been avoiding? What conversation have I put off? What goal have I delayed out of fear? Now ask, what would change if I did it anyway? You don't need to be fearless. You need to be honest. Honest enough to say, yes, I'm scared, but I'm more scared of becoming someone who gave up. You have one life, and every day that fear controls you is a day you never fully lived. So stand up, square your shoulders, and walk toward it, not all at once, not with false bravado, but with presence, breath, awareness, intention, because on the other side of fear is freedom, and that freedom is yours to claim. What's the first thing you say to yourself in the morning? Is it, "I'm tired, I'm behind, I'm not ready for this"? Or is it something stronger? Because the words you speak out loud or in your head are not just descriptions of your reality. They are instructions to your mind. Most people live on autopilot. They speak carelessly, think negatively, and wonder why life feels heavy. But a Stoic understands. Your language is the software that programs your life. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Epictetus. Every word you speak either feeds fear or fuels strength. It either chains you to your past or opens the door to your future. Imagine two men wake up to the same difficult day. One says, "This is too much. I can't do this." The other says, "This is hard, but I've faced worse." Same situation, different outcome. Why? Because the second man understood that words aren't passive, they're power. Your inner dialogue is a loop. What you say reinforces what you believe, and what you believe determines what you do. So if you tell yourself, "I'm not enough," don't be surprised when you stop showing up as if you are. But when you speak like someone who respects themselves, even before you fully believe it, you start becoming someone who's impossible to ignore. Start small instead of, "I can't." Say, "I'm learning." Instead of, "I failed." Say, "I grew." Instead of, "I'm not there yet." Say, "I'm getting closer every day." Because positivity isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about refusing to speak defeat into your future. Even the world's most successful people, writers, artists, leaders have all faced failure, criticism, and self-doubt. What set them apart? They spoke possibility into themselves, even when no one else did. J.K. Rowling was jobless, depressed, and rejected over and over. But she kept telling herself, "This story matters," and she wrote anyway. And this isn't just about how you talk to yourself. It's also about how you speak to others. Encouragement, respect, gratitude. These aren't soft, they're strong, because lifting someone else lifts you too. Every morning is a chance to speak strength into your soul. Before the world says anything, you say something. Say something clear. Say something powerful. Say something that reminds you exactly who you are becoming. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm goes off and your body wants to quit, don't reach for your phone. Reach for your mind and tell yourself, I'm calm. I'm focused. I'm ready. I don't need perfect conditions. I need purpose. This day is mine. Speak power. Speak clarity. Speak like the man you were born to be. Everyone has a dream, but few have the discipline to live like it matters. Because dreaming is easy. You can do it with your eyes closed. But building that dream, that takes something deeper: conviction, clarity, and the courage to act when no one's watching. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry Stoicism doesn't reject dreams. It rejects the fantasy of waiting for the perfect moment. A Stoic doesn't sit around visualizing success. He defines it, breaks it down, and moves toward it. One grounded step at a time. Here's the truth no one tells you. Your dream is not just a destination, it's a mirror. It reflects your values. It exposes your weaknesses. And it demands that you evolve into the person who's worthy of reaching it. That's why it's scary. That's why it's worth it. Imagine this. A young artist wakes up every morning with a vision in her mind, but her early paintings go unnoticed. Critics ignore her. Friends don't understand. Still, she paints every single day. Because the dream isn't about applause, it's about expression, progress, becoming. Years later, her work is recognized not because of luck, but because she was willing to be unseen while she refined her gift. You too will face silence. You will doubt yourself. You will question whether the dream was ever yours to begin with. And in those moments, you must remember, the process is the point. The journey shapes you more than the goal ever could. So, every morning, ask yourself, what does my dream actually require of me today? What small action can I take that aligns with it right now? It might be 15 minutes of focused writing, a single phone call, choosing discipline over distraction, small steps, daily. That's how dreams are built, in quiet repetition. The Stoics believed that your purpose is not something you find, it's something you forge. Through resistance, through clarity, through choosing not to give up when it would be easier to settle. And here's the most powerful part. Your dream will evolve, and that's okay. The destination may shift, but the why, the deeper reason behind your dream, is your anchor. When your why is rooted in meaning, you can adapt without losing yourself. So wake up each morning, and instead of chasing the dream, become the man who earns it. Work in silence. Move with purpose. Don't announce. Execute. Because while others fantasize, you're putting bricks down. And one day, maybe sooner than you think, you'll look back and realize, I didn't just chase a dream, I lived into it. You've made plans. You've set intentions. You've faced fear, but none of it matters if you forget to live where life actually happens: the present, the past, its memory, the future, its imagination. But now is the only place you can act. Breathe, change, love, create, endure. And yet, we're constantly pulled away from it by regret, by anxiety, by overthinking, over-planning, overdoing. Do not let your reflection on the whole sweep of life crush you. Let each moment have its task. Marcus Aurelius. You don't need to conquer the whole day in the first hour. You just need to conquer this moment. Look around, not with your eyes, but with awareness. Hear the sound of your breath. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Notice the stillness behind your thoughts. Right now, in this quiet moment, is everything you've been searching for. Presence is power, because when you're fully here, you don't react, you respond. You don't drift, you decide. You don't exist, you live. And when you live like that, the little things, the smile from a stranger, the warmth of coffee, the quiet of early morning become sacred. A Stoic doesn't rush life. He absorbs it. He shows up fully for whatever this moment demands. Not lost in what could be, not stuck in what was, but grounded in what is. Think of Marcus Aurelius, writing in his journal as Emperor of Rome, surrounded by pressure, war, politics, and yet his focus was this: how can I be present enough to act with virtue right now? That's leadership. That's Stoicism. That's peace. So ask yourself, am I truly here? Or am I just going through the motions? Am I scrolling through life? Or living it? Can I let go of what I can't change and embrace what I can touch now? Because this moment, this breath, this decision is life. The future will come. The past will teach, but only the present can transform you. So ground yourself in this truth. Right here is enough. Right now is power. And I am ready. You woke up this morning. That alone is a gift. You have a mind. Sharpen it. You have breath. Anchor it. You have a body. Move it. You have this moment. Own it. Because life doesn't begin someday. It begins each morning. And how you start is how you live. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need applause. You just need one thing: a quiet, unshakable decision to live this day with discipline, clarity, and courage. Be the calm in chaos. Be the strength in silence. Be the Stoic the world doesn't expect but deeply needs. And if today knocks you down, good. Rise sharper. Because the man you're becoming doesn't break, he adapts. So, before you scroll to the next video, pause. Ask yourself, what will I embody today? What value will I protect? What action will prove I was truly awake? And if this video helped you center your mind, pass that strength forward. Like the video, drop a comment. This is how I choose to live. And subscribe, not for noise, but for clarity. We're building a community of thinkers, warriors, Stoics, because every morning is a new beginning. And you're just getting started.